hand with wandering steps and slow, through Eden took their solitary way.
Sorry, pal, but not a soul's permitted to disturb the enlightened one. On guard. Show your ugly faces. This one's getting more obnoxious.
unending darkness.
Potent heat.
Potent heat!
Toasting!
As good as the new whip. Potent heat! This seems to be the location mentioned in Evelyn's diary.
It looks like it. But where is the entrance?
Excuse me, you're standing just exactly in my sun. Me? Oh, I'm long retired now. Enjoying the sunshine is far preferable to gutting rabbits over silly stones, after all. But they say a sorcerer's work is never done, but I seem to have finished mine quite in time to enjoy my golden years. Source murder. Cecile. Oh, I don't concern myself with such matters anymore. Channeling Source is more hassle than it's worth, and Cecile's a fish-reeking backwater I've no interest in visiting. Well, most certainly, though I haven't practiced in quite a few years. All the ferocity and fire of it just can't hold my interest the way a mellow afternoon on the beach can. You're giving me a strange sort of look, my friend. Is the heat getting to you?
Agreed. abstain from sorcery, and you'll have no problem with the likes of us.
Oh, Source Hunter, are you? Oh. Aren't Source Hunters supposed to be a bit, well, fierce and awe-inspiring? You look more like you'd like to settle down for a bit of sunbathing with yours truly. Help yourself, then. It's a big beach. Go on, then. If you continue throwing your shadow around like this, I'll never get an even colour. Go on, then.
Dugongs, you did. Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh? Frankly, it surprises me you lot are so eager to work with them. In my experience, they're kinda less reliable than used wagon sales dwarfs from Yuthel Gore. Heed me, comrade. You can't trust a wizard, witch, diviner, conjurer, or seer farther than you can throw 'em. Come now, comrade, you ought to have better sense than to ask me why I despise the basest, cruelest, filthiest creatures in all of creation. Most of we source hunters can recall more than enough memories of the look of an orcish blade coming down between the eyes, or the cold pressure of one of their studded clubs held to the temple. In that sense, I'm no different than any other. But the difference? Well, I'll say this much. With age, one might forgive the soldiers in an enemy army, might see them as cogs in a machine, might witness the humanity within even the cruelest enemy. Even so, some acts of war are utterly unforgivable. I have memories, comrade. Memories jagged as splinters. At times, I feel them threatening to tear me apart. Aye, comrade. And they're as gruesome a relic as their name suggests. Death fuels them, and only a sorcerer would wield them. I've seen one put to use in my day. What I witnessed, well, it's been burned into my eyelids for too long now. I don't know if I'll ever forget. Well, comrade, I've been around long enough, but not that long, mind, to know that little in this world can be split categorically into light. And my distrust of magic is instinctive after my years as a source hunter. But I also know that, at times, using the enemy against itself is the only way to make a lick of progress. So toss your cadabra elixirs and your illusion scrolls to high heavens, comrades. As long as I don't see a hint of darkness about you, you've got nothing to fear from old Medora. More than I'd hoped, comrade. There's Mayor Cecil's doing, and on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every... It's no coincidence that way back when... Don't let the... In the days... By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of the...
Daemon Daemonium. Ah, by all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale. Hiraka. Oh, and yet... That, Hunter, is a tale for late. May they be pertinent, Hunter. I do, for they have demon blood running through their scoundrelly veins. Admittedly, unlike true demons, it is not impossible for an imp to be kind and mean it, to have intentions other than vile. But nevertheless, these scamps are never to be trusted. Their volatility is not only highly annoying, in all too many situations it can be lethal. My ultimate purpose... Yes. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned that. Not yet. Suffice to say that I do not live like others do. I do not live for happiness, for the joys these earthly hours may bestow. My existence is the hunt, and through that hunt I may just find deliverance. Soon I must confront my purpose, or perish. I am not from any... I remember them. Yes, I can see them still, though for 1,000 reasons. And for one hunter, I could find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their presence distorts all intrinsic harmony. Lord, what fools these mortals be. Irrational. Is it irrational for a mother's blood to run cold with unutterable horror at the sight of a serpent slithering through the very crib where her babe lay sleeping? Aversion, distrust, and hatred. Such is the grounded trinity that should be anyone's approach to demons. As to the trigger, cannot you make an educated guess? Alcohol is the alcoholic's friend turned foe. With that, you know enough. You are right, and you are wrong, Hunter. Right, precisely because I was wronged. As you long have guessed, the wound that ever bleeds was inflicted unto me by one of our species. Though in many ways she, Hiraka, was beyond human scope. My station was a high one once, a king's, until I was brought very low. I learned among the dregs that men are the same everywhere. Whether they approach you in a back alley reeking of sewer or the jasmine-scented corridors of royal castles, they smile at you warmly, like friends would, as they fondle their daggers' hilts behind their backs. You are right that I lost affection, but I found it again among the beasts. Among the stray cats and street dogs with whom I shared my all too meager meals. Over time, the deer of the forest no longer fled when I approached. Birds would gladly perch upon my hand and eat from my palm. I found among them a serenity unseen amid humanity. There you are wrong, because for them, I harbor a vivid love indeed. I told you to forget! By bugger's claws, I told you. But no, I'll not be baited into pointless bickering. Your inquiry does me a discourtesy, even if that was not your intent. Let me therefore reiterate my most pressing request not to dwell on this matter. Should in due time our confidentiality grow, or circumstances demand the revelation of matters I'd otherwise keep concealed, I shall then confide in you. As it stands, due time has not yet. Good. No...
Read the spell, my friend? We who step through yonder gate the hunters hate, eh? Doesn't sound like your sort of crowd, does it?
Councillors' corpses lying around, perchance?
Oh, do you really need me to get into the tiresome details? There are some people inside, people and things, equipment of some nature or other. I was given a bit of gold to keep people, that's you, out. So that's what I do. We needn't make this any more complicated than it has to be. Oh, brown hair, nasty temper, big staff, huh? I suppose she's the one who tasked me with this little posting. She's always running in and out of the place with a foul look on her face. Friend of yours? Don't let's worry about that just now, my friend. Why don't you step up? No, don't push me, Sauce Hunter. I'd like to go back to enjoying the sun. And I'm sure you'd like to go back to whatever it is a scout like you gets up to. Trust me, there's nothing in that cave worth dying over. And frankly, I'd quite prefer... most certainly, though I haven't... You aren't planning on going where you ought not to go, are you? A sauce hunter calling a sorcerer sir, huh? That's too rich. Enough of this charade. This ends now. Which I can very well appreciate, my friend. Still, you do well to step away from that gate. Do you think I'm enjoying this little exchange? That's it. I've had quite enough of your interference. I only want...
more. Die, vermin! Vermin! Deliverance!
I surrender to your will.
Just a heads up, but I found myself on the receiving side of a spot of friendly fire during that last encounter.
By the gods, I'm ever so sorry. Won't happen again. Cross my heart and hope to die.
And I'll bloody well hold you to that oath, Butterfingers.
control center? Here? I've got to warn the others.
Ah, there you are. You were rather conspicuously absent during that last fight I was in.
Really? Didn't mean to leave you in the lurch like that. Next time, shout and I'll come running.
Oh, I didn't really run into any trouble. It's just that it's too bad you were missing all the fun.
What locked this here gate? We need to speak to Evelyn. Can't you recognise a fellow immaculate when you see one? Just 'cause I got twice your strength in my little toe, don't mean we ain't equal in the goddess's eyes. Well, myself, I need a hand choosing drapes for me kitchen windows. Are you daft? I need to inform her about the happenings in the Black Cove. But since my lady seems to have barred her gates to the likes of us, why don't you tell her this, small bones? We've run into a snag in the cove, but we're pushing through. The Starstone will be hers soon enough. I reckon if you don't already know, that may be above your pay grade. Take it up with Evelyn, why don't you? Or, better yet, have a look for yourself. You seem like just the type those pirates would love to get their hands on. Is that right, small bones? Maybe you can give me a single good reason for I rip your arms out. Fair enough, small bones, fair enough. Let the good lady know we look forward to meeting with her, will ya?
The people beyond this gate are awfully boring. They just go back and forth between the same places over and over.
These fellows are so focused on their work, they seem to be impervious to any other distractions.
Even the hollering of orcs couldn't shake them out of their strange stupor.
I've got you.
I've
Now.
got you!
For
Now!
the Immaculates!
The Immaculates! one mark is not enough.
Seven have mercy on your soul.
This is the end! For you!
Wow! Evelyn has so many friends! I bet they'd do anything she asks. Tweak! The people beyond this gate.
Ho hum.
I feel better already.
Silence! Curse your stupidity, Evelyn. Look over there. Your foolish games have brought source hunters into our very midst. I have no time for these distractions. Brachus Rex's resurrection is at hand. Deal with these insects and join me. Understand?
Of course, O Holy Conduit. I will deal with them swiftly.
See to it that you do.
You! Your stomping through my affairs has cost me dearly. More dearly than you'll ever know. What a pleasure it will be to see the Source shred your every last sinew. Yes, a sorcerer, disciple of blood, chaser of life everlasting. For a true sorcerer, death is but an inconvenience to rid oneself of, Hunter. Brachus Rex, centuries in his grave, will walk again, healthy as a newborn babe. That is our power, the power of sorcery. That wretch is but a thrall, a tool, but the conduit trusted him. I was determined to find out why, and resurrected him. His unwillingness to cooperate has proven something of an annoyance, but no matter. We're nearly through, aren't we, Jake? Just a little more pain. She is our leader. Leandra is her name. The conduit is her title. She aims to bring about... But no, you are not worthy of such knowledge. The bird does not explain to the worm why it devours it. You mean my bloodstone, I suppose? Ha! It was named like that for a reason, Source Hunter. I'll put it simply. We start with Starstone. A pretty gem, but hardly special. It contains a potential, though, known only to the enlightened few. If imbued with blood, Starstone contains the power to heal. A life given to the stone is a life one can give to another. To save a great life must be sacrificed. This is what the conduit has taught us. He was the greatest sorcerer ever to have lived. His power outmatches us all. The secrets he carries within him are phenomenal. He will aid us in our task, Hunter. All you have seen, all we are trying to do, this is but the beginning. Considering the imminent turn of the tide, Source Hunter, you should trust me when I say you're better off dead. Brachus Rex is rising, and soon Source will live again.
Curses. I'm stuck.
Get out of my way!
A little help here! I can take you all with one shot. Just watch!
Ah.
Seven, have mercy on your soul!
My. The Source Hunter. Dear dead Evelyn told me you had landed in Sicile, drawn to my source little corpse like flies to excrement. Well, here I am. A man no longer, a monster instead, unworthy of the Conduit's grace, the very same. Jake, counselor by day, sorcerer by night, martyr in death. Me? Do you contest it, huh? You presumptuous dog. I died serving the Conduit. Leandra! Oh, blessed Conduit. I'd have followed you till the end of time, and it wasn't to be. I was struck down in the prime of my sorcery, and by whom? Leandra's own sister. The pox upon her. Ikara! I spit on every syllable. They call her the White Witch. She is powerful in her own right, but never would I have thought she'd challenge her sister Leandra and kill one of the most loyal. Me. Very little indeed. What concern was that foul woman of mine. What witch, perhaps? The black sheep of her family, too. She shunned her sister's teachings. Can you believe that? She could have been the very conduit's right hand. But she shunned her. Oh, take vengeance upon her, blessed Leandra. I invoke you. Open her veins. Bleed her dry. Give her a function at last. My murder, a tale of woe. The time, a misty midnight. The place, the King Crab Inn. The players, myself, Leandra, Ikara, and a stranger whose identity I have never established. The conduit was there to meet with this stranger, and had tasked me to stand ready to overpower him if necessary. I heard sounds of passion at first, but later of angry argument. Then I heard Leandra's command, and I entered the room. She swerved past me, and oh, I can still feel the rasp of her holy breath upon my ear. Whispered, "Finish him." A man lay on the floor, struck down, and ready for my knife, which I plunged deep into his heart. But not a moment later, Ikara burst through the window, and I was defenseless. She savagely tore my life from my body, and I died in the glow of the source. A holy martyr, slain in the name of the conduit. Foolish grasper. She who thought herself the conduit's favorite couldn't stand that I had been privileged as a confidant. When she realized the conduit had been in the inn the night I was killed, she couldn't stand to think that I had been trusted where she had not. She brought me back to unlife so that I would reveal what I knew. She wanted to work her way back into the conduit's confidence. But as you saw, Leandra had no interest in Evelyn's petty tricks. Yes, the king is dead, but not for long. Long live the king! The Blackest Rex has no equal, Hunter. His knowledge of the source is absolute, and through him so will the conduits be. The hour is nigh. You do not realize it yet, but his axe is falling towards your scrawny neck. And I am of little use to Leandra's cause now. My worm-eaten rind is an insult to her perfection. To my grave, then, I will go. I suppose she'll not grudge me my portion of rest.
The immaculate snake sprouts a new head wherever we look. If our murder victim's one of them crazy cultists, anyone could be.
Maybe you are one of them without really knowing it, Medora. I know you to be paranoid enough to contemplate the possibility. So, contemplate. May the pain wrought by sword and sorcery stalk this stiff, stirring strumpet beyond the shores of death. Once more we have stumbled upon an amateur. One who disfigures the pallid elegance of necromancy's visage with rank and vulgar imperfections. She dabbled with flesh like a child with its pudding. She was deaf to the screams of her victims as she made the scalpel glide through exposed limbs with the easy grace of birds through air. And for what? For nothing but to command death, the true necromancer. It is life he wants to command. Immortality. Achieve this, and the screams of agony will not have thundered forth from tortured throats in vain. They will be forgotten in the maelstrom of time eternal. There. You keep your minds on a tighter leash than a priest his hidden desires. You shy away from the necessity that is torment for most short-sighted reasons, for the meaninglessness that is morality. What is humanity, after all, but a gathering of germs from which an exalted few may pluck the subject their studies require, and vivisect them into oblivion while propelling themselves into eternity. Glory be this noble pursuit, tainted as it may be by the blunders of simpletons like Evelyn. Let us eradicate such vermin wherever we find it. Let us seal up every crevice it crawls from. But let us never lose sight of the higher purpose that the art of necromancy promises yet. So now to pursue said promise with haste and determination. Death is a friend of time. Life is not.
Evelyn just loves ruining beautiful starstones with her sticky red sap.
Source Hunter. You have done it, haven't you? You've discovered the fate of Counselor Jake. gods! No one could have predicted such a dark turn of events. This is worse than my deepest fears made manifest. It just cannot be that they aim to resurrect him. Brachus Rex. It cannot be! Forgive me, this news just so very upsetting. This thing. It was the king of tyrants. The embodiment of terror. The lunatics that seek his rise must be stopped, whatever the cost. I do. I do indeed. Brachus would unseat the king of demons in sheer perfidy and malice given half a chance. For the world, for you and I to suffer his perversions once more is unthinkable. The possibility of his return is more than I can bear. And Ikara, that she has been dragged into this sorry business adds insult to insufferable injury. There have long been rumors that Brachus's corpse was interred in the vaults beneath the abandoned Church of the Seven in Sicil's eastern hinterlands. That place is crawling with undead these days, so the rumors may well be true. Where Leandra goes, the dead rise left and right. And even in death, the long-lost tyrant's corruption appears to persist. Come to think of it, did anyone in Evelyn's lair mention the name Cassandra? It's nothing, Hunter. Nothing. My mind is reeling, but I'll feel better soon. After you've cut short Leandra's dark pursuits. She is a great woman, Hunter. A champion of all that is good and pure. She may have killed Jake, but then again, the man turned out to be a vile sorcerer. I can only surmise that she is on to her sister's sinister schemes, which makes me fear for her safety more than anything else. Leandra. I know her, though I haven't seen her in years. As you know, she and Ikara are sisters. It's hard for me to believe that she's leading this cult. That she's delirious enough to go after Brachus Rex. But clearly her involvement can no longer be denied. She's as smart as 10 wizards put together, Hunter. An opponent to be feared. Now, you said Jake and Evelyn called her the Conduit, didn't you? In that case, she may just be the elusive head of the Immaculates. There's a village in the forests north of Sicil where a new religion has taken hold. Its followers call themselves Immaculates, and I've heard say they worship a leader called the Conduit. This village is called Silverglen, and if my suspicions turn out to be correct, there is sorcery at work there. Alas, I haven't the foggiest. Another sorcerer, perhaps? Or simply another victim of Leandra's ploys? The Legion didn't find a second body at the scene of the crime, so maybe he escaped with his life after all. Though, just as likely, his body too was taken away by Evelyn for experimentation. And I will see if I can find out more about Ikara's involvement. But in the meantime, please pursue Leandra to the old church in the east and stop her before she can raise Brachus. I beg of you.
Brachus Rex's name alone is enough to turn our friendly neighborhood wizard into a scaredy cat.
I wonder why this ancient spectre spooks him so. Ahu doesn't strike me as the type to scare very easily. And so the mystery is solved. Councillor Jake was murdered by this so-called White Witch Ikara. But as it stands, I guess our next concern is Brachus Rex. Agreed. If Brachus is half as dangerous as Jake and Evelyn claimed, we must prevent his ever seeing the light of day again.
I'm overheating here.
But a trifle for us legionnaires, what? We fought like lions, slaying 3, 4 undead with every blow. I say, impressive. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Good to see you. My brave troops were just telling me how they proudly vanquished the undead near the lighthouse. Did you get to witness my valiant soldiers in action?
You'd have sworn wrongly. These men did their jobs just fine.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Yes, I bet legionnaires can impress even source hunters. Now, as for my 2 braves here, you shall prepare to leave Sicile post-haste. You're going home, as is your just reward.
Bravest guards we've met, like lions.
Yes, I bet legionnaires can impress even source hunters. Now, as for my 2 braves...
Thank you, Lieutenant. All in the day's work.
Divines doubly bless you, friend. Lieutenant Cellini. Now I say... And that is exactly what your presence in Sicile is, Source Hunter. A gift. So the chances of... They must come from somewhere, from some vile source. I shall be very glad to share what information... By all means. We lost another 4 brave souls. But I'm so very happy for the 2 that did make it back. They've truly earned their ticket home. My legionnaires. They all perished? How fate has treated them wantonly. And if it weren't for you, the archaeologist would surely have died as well. He has much to be thankful for. Were that I had for 2 years or... Still, I thank you for telling me, Source Hunter. Knowledge is better than uncertainty.
Legion's greetings, Hunter. You claim to possess evidence that implicates Lady Esmeralda in...
The Hunter returns! I hope you are here. I am Esmeralda. I cannot believe Jake was a sorcerer. What depravities did he commit? Was he planning to use me as a sacrifice? Ooh, I shudder to think that for years I have lain next to him at night, peacefully sleeping, while his thoughts dwelt on blood and devilish...
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies.
Hello again, adventurer. I hope you want me. Oh, he's always been something for my part. That band of... You say you met him? Was he well? Did he look hungry to you? Cold? Was he eating enough vegetables? Did he wash his hands before supper? Oh, please, you must tell me everything you know.
We're under no obligation to relay this news, and I don't think we ought to. If you're suddenly the champion of hard truths, then I've got one for you about what my fist is about to do to your face.
No, we'll do as I say.
I can't. That's impossible. You must be mistaken. Tom was a daring boy, but an adroit one too. Check your facts before you spread such horrible lies. Tom's alive. Do you hear me? Hello again, adventurer. Alive and well, just as he should be, the dear. Life is so wonderful when you've a safe and happy family. Oh, just thinking of him makes me want to sing. La do 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 do. Tra la 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 la. Hello again, adventure.
What? Oh, it's you, my elf. Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Cyseal, and husband of... What would you like to discuss? So Evelyn is the one who stole Jake's body. But whoever killed him is still on the loose. What were we talking... What? The undead? Yes, for the past 2 years, those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated this city. With all... Well, I suppose as much as any other Thaddeus, Rich, or Harold. A shameful spot upon the history of Rivellon, that brute. As loath as I am to admit it, Cyseal was once quite a hub of the despot's supporters. Some even say his corpse was cast beneath the foundations of the abandoned church in the northeastern cliff. An old wives' tale, I say, but I suppose one never knows for sure. Oh, she's a dear girl indeed. She's got a little cabin in the cooler forest, not so far to the north of here, in fact. And though she doesn't make it into Cyseal often, it's a comfort to know she's keeping the watch near our port. I hope she hasn't got mixed up in all this ugly business with the councillor. Wait here. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. The Fabulous Five. I thought you said the treacherous. Well, they just informed me that they cleared the cave of all undead presence, so I gave them the reward as promised. They just left town. The rest of the world needs saving too. Oh, they truly are fabulous. You managed to drive him away? But what if he comes back? Are we dead? What? You found it? Oh, this is excellent news. Where is it then? Give it...
Not so fast. We can't trust such a powerful relic to senile Cecil. If you didn't trust this relic to Cecil, I'd turn you both in for colluding in the dark arts.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Thieves! Scoundrels! I'd throw you into prison if this weren't such a sensitive issue. Blasted source hunters! I thought we were on the...
By Shadu World Shaper, this bedeviled staff has cost us time in spades. Can we please... What do you think you're doing? You there! Cut...
No, we'll do as I say.
Wonderful! Oh, it's simply wonderful! Come, come, you must let me thank you somehow. I've got it! A free month's honorary membership to the Sicil Library.
By Shadow World Shaper, this bedeviled staff has cost us time in spades. Can we please attend to more urgent matters?
I assume you address me for a reason, so go. Good.
What? Oh, it's you! What new?
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse has more holes than a slice of...
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to... It's very tragic news. I won't pass... Welcome thee, my friend! Waitress! Another round of beers if... I'm an archaeologist and connoisseur of the undead. Because of my... Quite so. I live for the dead. Zombies, others... Should you encounter these ones in particular, the ones around Sicil are the resurrected soldiers of Brachus, the last and most infamous in the line of sorcerer kings. He himself is supposed to be buried somewhere around here, but no one knows where the actual grave is. Long have I searched, and deep be that as it may, Brachus' soldiers stalk her. And don't be surprised if the dead use an unusual amount...
Brachus...
Glorious to see you once more. She came from on high. She showed us that injury and malady need go on the path to the...
Hello again. How can I help you? Mind if we keep our voices down over that sense?
Praise be that Arhu the wizard built those newfangled weapons of his.
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Riverland's finest work up mighty fine appetite, sir.
No, sir.
You, again. I'm Captain Aureus, if you must. So, let me get this straight. There are insidious sorcerers running about town that turned a council ambassador into a zombie for sport, after said councillor was murdered by some mystery witch who subsequently trotted off to her cabin in Luculla Woods. Sure you haven't omitted relevant details like, flying brooms, black cats, and bloody pentagrams? By Belagar's nethers! Sounds like a fantasy tale mothers tell their children before bed. And I bet none of it's more than fantasy either. Though no doubt Ahu puts stock in your every word. Anyway, be these truths, half-truths, or outright lies, it seems to me your business in Sicil is concluded. Don't let the undead hit you on the way out. If you must. Bravo! How am I enjoying it? We are the pride of Riverlon. I'd say they're looking for weak spot. What more is there to say? She clearly was in league with the sect that's been unsettling Sicil, so now that she's dead, all the better. Hopefully, though, it has dawned on you that a sect implies multiple adherents. The search continues. Yes, and he also spends most of... Now, I don't see how my mother-in-law is any of your business, Hunter. Seriously, though, I doubt information given by the zombified remains of a councillor is to be trusted. But then again, you do take the advice of cat wizards, too. I heard she has a cottage in the forest north of the city. I'm sure it's made of gingerbread, and you'll find the remains of eaten children. So off you trot in chase of fairy tale fiends. What'd you take me for? An ignoramus? That accursed name rings a goddamn Carillion. He was the last Sorcerer King, a frightful warrior that fell dozens before finally being slain by the army that had risen against him. We may well stand on unholy ground right now, for they say his remains were buried in what is now Sicil, the Mad King from Mad City.
Source Hunter, welcome, but certainly. What would you like to know? By all means. I can't say much more, but that... And what might those be? Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply... The enemy is wily. Oh, a mere trifle. So the Sparkmaster 5000 has been reduced to scrap, has it? A shame, really. But if your actions saved lives, I suppose you may consider its demise a success. What? A mere flea bag won the heart of that exquisite black beauty? I knew I should have acted sooner. And now I've let her slip through my claws. What? Why are you looking at me like that? She's certainly more beautiful than any human lady I've ever seen. Besides, it's easier to raise kittens than kids, I can tell you that.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no,